Hello, I'm going to show you some stretches for your forearm which might be beneficial if you have golfers or tennis elbow. In this video I'm going to show 2 stretches for your forearm flexors and then 1 stretch for the extensors. Okay, so stretch number 1. You can do this from a table. I might do a separate video with a demonstration of that. Some people do find it hard to get in a kneeling position. If you're quite athletic, you shouldn't have a problem sitting to the calves. So we're going to put our hands like this, and if this is a bit too intense, you just make the gap bigger. Okay, we are going to make sure we're locked at the arms, and I'm going to stare at a spot just there. Imagine there's a penny piece there. I'm going to stare at that. I'm going to make sure my fingers are splayed, and I'm going to stare at that penny piece, and I'm going to draw a circle like this, feeling my weight go through each knuckle. You can start small. It doesn't have to be the biggest circle in the world. Work with what feels just a little bit uncomfortable, and then we can start going the other way. And 10's a nice round number. We could do 10 circles each way, okay? And this will certainly loosen up some of those tight flexors, okay? Next stretch, we are going to bring the fingers towards the body. Now this can be quite intense. So if the heel of the hands can't get to the ground, it's definitely something we should be working on. So don't worry if that's where your stretch is. You can pulse like this. That's a good thing to do. You can bring on a stretch by leaning back, coming forward, takes it away. Okay, so just do it lightly, work within your limits, and if you feel it's too intense, just back off, but it should be somewhat uncomfortable. I think a good duration to practice this for, you can do it dynamically or static, is about 30 seconds. So just experiment with what feels right for you, try and listen to your body and do what feels natural. And then last one for the extensors, okay? So what we're gonna do is let our hands sort of go a little bit limp, and we are going to just sort of push our hand into the floor like this, and you will feel the extensors, okay? Why for golfer's elbow do we stretch both? If your extensors are tight, it's certainly going to pull the muscles of the flexors the other way too. So it's good to stretch both the flexors and the extensors, even though the problem lies within the flexors. And the same would be true for tennis elbow, okay? If the flexors are tight, it's going to cause some tightness for the extensors too, okay? So yeah, we just put our weight through this just lightly. Again, this can be really intense. If you're struggling to keep your arm locked, then they're really tight, okay? So maybe we could just work from the elbow without putting weight through the hand, and you're still getting a nice stretch maybe about there. Yeah, the better you get, the more weight you can put through your wrist. Lovely. And it is uncomfortable, but again, just work within your limits, work within your capacity. It should feel uncomfortable, but it shouldn't feel brutal, okay? So those are 3 stretches which can help and give you relief from tennis or golfer's elbow. Another thing which would really help is just doing some self-massage. So if that's where your pain is, on the medial epicondyle, we're going to locate that pain, and you can confirm it by putting a bit of a stretch on them, okay? And then that might aggravate it a bit further. And then just work along the line of the muscle with the idea that you're breaking up the tight tissue, okay? You can press quite intensely, you might get a sore thumb, and that's why it's nicer to have somebody else do it for you, because it does take a lot of energy to self-massage. Okay, so you've got 3 stretches and a self-massaging technique that we could expand on. But yeah, with things like this, you can use your intuition. Doing something is better than nothing.